What is going on, guys? How's it going today? Welcome back to another flipping and money making live stream. I'm your host with the most, Scapenomics, and let's make some bank today, guys. As usual, working with 2,140,000,000 GP today. We're gonna see if we can flip that up, turn it into something a little bit larger, and of course, if you guys have any questions along the way, be sure to let me know in the live chat. Happy Friday to everybody tuning in. I'm pumped to go today. I'm hoping margins are looking good today. I haven't had a great opportunity to actually see if margins have been looking better today. So we're going to go ahead, get through this stream here, get some flips in. We're going to be going a little bit longer today. I know I'm coming at you a little bit early today as well. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the extra 30 minutes of the stream that you're going to get today. And let's crack on into it, guys. Now, the Twisted Bow is coming back down in price currently as we speak. And the margin on it right now is not looking that great. So I'm actually going to stay away from it in the short term. We're going to start off with the Dragon Warhammers here first today. Now, we're going to list these for 38 million, a little bit over that, actually. And I'm hoping these don't buy too quickly, but there is a very real situation where they do buy extremely fast, as I do think the margin on them is coming down. So we could try to stretch the margin a little bit on that, but honestly, I don't really even think it's worth my time to do that. I think we just sink it in right where we are right now and see if we can fill a limit on those. Also, the Ancestral Robe set is looking like a big margin as well, so I'm going to see if I can get that flipping as well. Let's go ahead and list this here. And it would be nice if we could get 2 of those. I don't know if it's actually going to work out or not, but we'll leave that in for the time being. Not really any great margins on the Scythe of Vitur or the Twisted Bow right now. We'll have to take a look at the Elysian Spirit Shield. Maybe that's going to have a little bit more opportunity compared to some of the other items. But the Saradomin Godsword is going to be the item that we do list next. We're going to get the Saradomin Godsword in here for actually a pretty decent margin right now. It is showing a very nice margin, and I would like to try and flip those. We still have 1.3 bill on hand, so I'm going to try and find that Elysian Spirit Shield, and maybe we can actually try and flip a few of those, as long as it's not going to be too challenging for us. A lot of these medium volume items are looking pretty good right now. I do expect there to be a lot of competition today. There's going to be a lot of people logging on today. I mean, there's definitely no surprise in that. It is Friday during prime time, so we're going to have a lot of people playing the game tonight, and that's obviously going to increase competition on a lot of our flips, a lot of our items, and that's going to be a little bit tough from a money-making standpoint, but we're going to do our best to stay competitive on our price listings here, see how good we can do with these increased price listings and this increased competition, and just make as much as we possibly can. I do want to rotate into that Elysian Spirit Shield, but that is actually not showing a good margin as well, so we're just going to be a patient all the way around here and just kind of play it slow today. We're going to slowly get in on the Scythe of Vitur here. Definitely not going to overpay for this one today, as I do think it possibly is on a downward trend, at least in the short term here. So we're going to list low on that, play a little bit beneath the margin, try to catch a possible dump. We have Saints fan saying early start today. Absolutely, Saint. Thank you for tuning in, man. We have Lords of PvP saying yo, yo, yo. Good to see both of you today. We are starting a little bit earlier today, guys, so hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully you're ready for a little bit longer of a flipping session today, just by about 30 minutes. Now we have Rug. He says, do you play RS exclusively for the market fund, or do you still PVM and PvP as well? Very occasionally, I will PvP or PVM. Temporos is something I do want to start getting into as well. Just looks kind of fun from a content standpoint. And look, guys, I've been playing this game since 2015, when the game became free-to-play. Old school RuneScape became free-to-play, right? So for me, I'm looking more so for something to do in-game that's going to get me a pet in the long run, because I'm still petless about 5 or 6 years later. So that's kind of tough, guys. Feels bad, man, but I primarily play this game for the market. I love the economics in gaming, you know, not only RuneScape, but World of Warcraft as well, MMOs in general. I love talking about the market, thinking about how the markets move in these games, and the skills actually do translate into real life as well. There is actually an overlap as far as markets go. So some people are curious to know, what is that overlap? How significant is it? Basically, the RuneScape market, the WoW market are just downplayed versions of the real economy, but they operate in very, very similar ways. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to the stream today. We are getting a nice longer stream in today, so do drop a like for that. We are streaming for an extra 30 minutes today, so we'll see if that helps from a profit standpoint as well, right? We're going to have to see. But right now, we don't have any flips that have completed yet. We're closely keeping our eye on a bunch of these margins here, seeing what's going to work today, and it looks like the Elysian is showing a better margin right now. Very happy to see where that Elysian is trending. Currently, it looks like it's coming down a little bit. Gonna see if we can stretch the margin on that a little bit, make a little bit of extra cash. How many times can I say a little bit? Honestly, man. We're gonna go list this Dragon Warhammer back as well here. See if we can get this off pretty quickly. The 3 Dragon Claws that we do have, we are going to put into a sell offer as well. Should sell off relatively fast. It's 22:33 here, so good hours for me. Lord of PvP, man, that is incredible. Thank you for staying up late, man. We have DZ. He is asking, hey, do you instantly adjust the offer if active price changes, or do you tend to wait? If I was flipping by myself, then yes, I would adjust the offer immediately. But, well, it actually depends. It depends on the item, right? If it's something that has a lot of volume, I would adjust the offer immediately. If it's something that has a little bit less volume, like the Dragon Warhammer or any kind of gear-related items like that, I would actually wait on it because it's more likely it is going to swing in your favor. We have Octoman coming in with the 10 bits. He says, GE tax. Thank you, Ackman. Do appreciate it. We also have Light Up the L. He says, you're doing this early. We're getting an extra 30 minutes on it today, guys. So get excited for that. We're getting this flipping session in here today, and we're going to make some bank, of course, as we always do. And I think that 30 minutes is going to help from a profit standpoint. So we're going to see if it works out for us. Anyway, we do have 465K in profit so far, guys. So let's see what we can do with that. I do want to reinvest that into something here. It doesn't really look like the scythe is really working too well for us as of yet. But don't worry, we're going to be a little bit patient with that and see if it goes our way. I'm going to see if I can pull a couple of these items here, see if maybe I can list an Elysian. Yes, we do have enough for the Elysian, so I would actually like to get an Elysian going as well. I think if we can trade one of these, we'll be in a very good spot. Anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you guys are doing well on this lovely Friday evening. Thank you for tuning in today. We do appreciate it here on the live stream. 6.9 mil an hour average right now, and we haven't smacked any big items in the exchange yet. So that is good and bad, I guess, at the same exact time. We're going to adjust the offer on the Dragon Claws as well because those are not really doing too much right now. So let's list another 3 of those, and we'll let that do its thing. We still have the Dragon Warhammer selling here. Very, very nice from a profit standpoint. And besides that, I think we're all set to go here. Very happy with what we're looking at right now. We also have the Ancestral Robe set, which is peaking a decent margin, but we weren't able to get any of those since the start of the stream, right? So maybe we'll stay away from that for a little bit longer. One item I do want to try and flip, though, is the Pegasian boots today. They are showing over a 100K margin. Do I think that's going to last? Absolutely not, but it is definitely worth trying to get in on these. And if we have enough, we'll try and get a full limit, but I think we're going to be a little bit short. So we'll go in for about 10 of these, see if it works in our favor. E-Rich says, how much can you make in free-to-play a day? It depends how much you play in free-to-play, ER, but if you want, I have a guide on how to flip in free-to-play and make 700K an hour. It does require having 2 accounts, so I would look into that video if that strategy is interesting for you, but the best money-making in free-to-play that I found is that 700K an hour method, so keep that in mind. Check it out if you're interested. It is on my YouTube channel, and it's not clickbait. It's legitimate 700K an hour. But not a lot of people utilize it because they don't like utilizing multiple accounts, I guess. I don't really know why they don't like doing it, but it is a powerful moneymaker. We're listed on the Elysian. We're listed on the Scythe. Let's be patient on those. We're going to hope for a downward rotation on both of those items. If I do see the margin increase on the buying end or the selling end, then I will actually adjust my offer up to see if I can hit those margins. But right now, I don't think there's too much to be concerned about. We're just going to be patient here and see if I can make some money. All right, I've got 2 accounts and 6 mil that I've made. That is going to be plenty rich, man. It's going to make you a lot richer in free-to-play alone. But my question is, you might want to try to get to like 10 mil and then buy a bond and see if you can make more money in members, right? Because there's a certain point in time where you want to make the leap to a members world to actually make more money per hour and be able to sustain a bond long-term. That way you can get out of free-to-play, get some access to some better money makers. So definitely focus on that if you haven't already. We have Wild Muffin saying, what's up, Scape? Good to see you, Wild Muffin. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to the stream, man. Starting a little bit earlier today, guys. An extra 30 minutes is going to be added onto the stream today. So sit back, relax, let's make some money, and hopefully the markets have been good for you today as well, guys. Let me know in the comments or the live chat here if the money making has been good for you today. For me, this is my first time logging in today. We're hoping for a strong end to the week from a profit standpoint, and of course, we're going to make some weekend gains as well, but we always do that, of course. 520K flip on the Dragon Warhammers already, and we did squeeze a 270K on the Dragon Claws, so pretty good timing on both of those. We have Guarin. He says, I can see myself on stream. I'm dressed up like a gambling bot with a tiny Temporos pet. Where are you, man? I don't see you, bro. Feels bad, man. Anyway, good to see you, Goran, man. Thanks for tuning in. We're also getting back in on these Dragon Claws. Very, very nice. What are you sipping on? Wild Muffin. As soon as we get about 20 more minutes, we will be cracking into... Actually, let's just crack into the drink now, right? Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go get the drink. We're going to get into it today. I'm going to show you what we've got to drink today, okay? Give me 1 second while I go run and get a drink. Be right back. We are back in action, guys. We got a drink in hand, but first we do need to get these Dragon Claws sold back onto the exchange here. I do think this margin is probably coming down pretty quickly, so the next 2 claws that I sell off are going to be for a smaller margin. Now, we do have the White Claw here today. It is the Raspberry White Claw. Honestly, White Claw, it's pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it's all that I have right now, okay? So we're definitely going to crack into it today. Get some enjoyment out of it. Oh, man. It's all sticky and stuff. And honestly, raspberry is like a really bad flavor, but it's the last one I have, so we got to drink it. We have E-Rich saying, I've already got a bond, but I'm not sure exactly what to trade to make enough for another bond. Well, ideally, E-Rich, you'd have another moneymaker that you can use once you get to members in mind. That way you can get to members, grind out that moneymaker for a while, build up that cash stack a little bit, and then start flipping on the exchange. I think that's the best way to do it. I don't know what your stats are looking like, but if you have some higher stats, you can aim for something maybe PVM related to actually get you there from a profit standpoint. Currently, right now, though, margins on this medium volume stuff are absolutely crushing. We also had the Twisted Bow go up on margin here. E-Rich giving us a follow. Thank you, man. Really do appreciate that. Welcome to the flipping team. And by the way, let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash tag or anything relating to flipping. Definitely will help you out, man. We're also going to get in on this Twisted Bow as quickly as we can. I do see the Twisted Bow rotating up in price. I do think it could have some bull movements here, so we're going to take a look at that. Also, the Pegasians aren't really working out quite yet, so we'll rotate out of that as well. Let's go ahead and find something else in the meantime. I don't want to do... The Ring of the Gods is showing a good margin, but honestly, on stream, I don't want to be holding one of those for the entire stream, right, and trying to sell one off, so we're actually going to avoid that today. We'll do the Dragon Hunter Crossbow next. Let's do a decent bit of these. Oh man, I hit a hotkey by accident. And let's go in big on these as well, because we do have the money, so we might as well try and get 6 of these. Is Trailblazer items still good to flip? They're definitely going to be a little bit competitive now that they have real-time prices on them. Probably better for like an overnight situation than an active flip. I don't really think you want to get those too much because they're actually cosmetic items, right? The Trailblazer stuff is a cosmetic item, so there's no really true demand behind it besides, hey, this kind of looks cool and I would like to pick one up. So typically players only do that when they're very wealthy in game, and it's not really a driven demand, right? Whereas something like the Scythe or the Twisted Bow, that's obviously got a lot more demand to it because you need it. Dragon Hunter Crossbow, Dragon Hunter Lance, those are specifically used in certain PVM situations, so the demand on that is a little bit higher. Now, Wild Muffin says they do have some decent margins, but they don't trade a whole lot. Yep, that's exactly correct. And I think it's probably harder to flip that Trailblazer stuff now that real-time prices are available. Zartan says, what webpage do you use for prices? I use the OSRS wiki. I think it's just the nicest view. It's the easiest one, in my opinion, to understand. And that's where I track my item prices most of the time. I also like the favorites feature on there as well, but GE Tracker is equally as good. I just kind of like the graphs on the OSRS wiki a little bit more. Anyway, guys, hopefully you are doing well today. Welcome to the Friday stream. We're trying to make a little bit of money today on this lovely Friday evening. This is a very competitive time to flip, so we're going to do our best to make some coins today. And right now, it's actually going pretty good. 970K in the past about, what, 15 minutes so far. We're going to be going for another hour and 15 minutes as well. So a little bit longer of a stream today for us. And we're going to see if we can make some profit today, guys. I mean, right now it's looking good. I do want to try and get the Twisted Bow and the Scythe going here. We are taking a long time to get into both of these flips. So a little bit curious about what that's looking like. And we're going to be very patient in the way that we actually go about performing those. Bert says, really like your videos and want to get better at flipping. What can I flip with 4 million? Bert, good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in on this lovely live stream today. Now, Bert, honestly, if you have a 4 mil cash stack, I would not recommend flipping. The minimum amount that we usually recommend people start to flip with is 10 million GP. Yes, you can get away with 5 mil, but you're not going to be making enough per hour to make it a viable moneymaker. But you will be able to learn how flipping actually works. So, Bert, if there's any way you could build that cash stack up to about a 10 mil stack, that is going to be a lot better for you to start flipping, and definitely we can help you out from there. It's just flipping with any less than that is just really not efficient, and we really, when we teach people how to flip on this channel, right, we really want people to be invested in the strategy, and if you're flipping with that small of a stack and you're not really seeing the profits, it's a little bit detrimental. Now, we can't get the Scythe. I think my goal right now is to actually stay away from the Scythe because, not that I think it's a bad flip. The margin actually looks really good on this, but the issue I'm having with it... Oh, there we go. We got the Twisted Bow as well. The issue I'm having with it is there's just not any price updates being made to the Scythe right now, which, in my opinion, is a little bit of a problem. Let me find that Twisted Bow as well. Let me find the margin on that really quick. Don't know where that went, actually. It was on my list here, but it disappeared. Okay, guess it's gone. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and sell the Twisted Bow back for what I believe the margin was. Yeah, I think that looks about right. Also, the Scythe still not buying. I don't really know what to do about that. Let's see here. Let's do the Ring of Suffering next. Actually looks good. That's the first time I've seen a great margin on the Ring of Suffering in quite some time, guys. Let's go ahead and crack that open here. Try to flip a few of these. Hopefully I list it correctly. Wuggy, thank you for the follow, man. Do appreciate it. Let me go ahead and flip this here really quick. Welcome to the flipping team, man. By the way, thank you for giving us a follow over on Twitch. We do appreciate it. And welcome to the live stream, man. Let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash tag or anything related to flipping. We also have Wild Muffin saying, wait, Jez says, hi, I want to sell my GF. Is it hard to flip her? No comment on that. We're not going to get raunchy today with it, guys, okay? Sometimes we get a little questionable, but not today. We have Vin Desi says, you have 5K to invest in any stock. What would you buy? Microsoft, all of it. Microsoft, obviously a massive performer in the space. And honestly, like, their cloud business is growing arguably enough to compete seriously with Amazon's cloud business. And if that keeps growing, there's no doubt in my mind Microsoft will be the largest tech player in 20 years. They're already extremely massive. They have a monopoly on corporate software. I see a very, very green sky ahead for Microsoft. Personally, I am a tech investor primarily, but Amazon would also be a decent option. I just think Amazon's like a little... Not for me, man. It's not for me. Kiramir says, how do you feel about a proposed GE tax? I wouldn't want a GE tax because it would lower the volume on the exchange, as people would, first of all, they trade a little bit less because they'd have to pay a tax on it, so that would lower the volume a little bit. On top of that as well, I wouldn't want a GE tax because it kind of increases scamming. If people can trade outside the Grand Exchange and not take a tax on their trades, then people are going to do that, and that's going to increase scamming, so I'd rather not have that happen. Anyway, we're still waiting on this Twisted Bow to sell off here. I don't know, Vin. Vin, what would you invest in, man? Curious what you would invest in IRL with some 5K dollars, my man. But Dragonfire Awards, we could go ahead and flip those. Honestly, we still have 561 mil on hand. I would like to rotate this into something else here if we can. We're actually going to try to pick up a few cheap Avernicks here. We'll get 3 of those listed. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's interesting. That's actually not horrible. I did list them correctly, though. We just got unlucky on that, I guess. Did we get it right on a crash? Hold on. Unlucky, I guess. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Anyway, we should be okay on it. We're just going to have to wait a little bit longer for that one. It feels bad, man. Feels bad. Now, let's go ahead and turn around and sell these Dragon Hunter crossbows here. Dude, every stream, I feel like I'm making a mistake, man. But that one was just bad timing. We actually did list those correctly. The real-time price was just a little bit off, I guess. We might have to bag hold those, unfortunately. We got them in for a high price as well. Dual Arena Tax is amazing, to be honest. Good gold sink. Oh, yeah. The Dual Arena Tax doesn't really bother me as much. Just because, like, the Dual Arena is, like, an extra activity you can or cannot do. But when you put it on the Grand Exchange and it affects trading, that's another story. And I also think that a tax actually de-incentivizes people to actually stake to begin with. So, because in theory, even if you win, over time, you're taking a lot of money off the table, off your wins. Let's take a look at some of these other items here. The Spectral looks okay. Not a big enough margin for me to really want to go and flip that. We're going to be putting too much capital up front into that item for not enough return. And it's going to take a while to move them back and forth. So probably not worth it for us. Let me see what else, though. I mean, this would be nice if we could hit these. The Fremennik Kilts might be worth it for us today. These are definitely a lower volume item as well, so you need to be a little bit patient in the way you trade these. We'll do about 8 of those as well. Still waiting on that Twisted Bow to sell. We'll keep a close eye on it. We have a Gyroscope popping in. He says, hey, how's it going today? Good to see you, Gyroscope, man. Thank you for tuning in today. It's going well so far. We're starting a little bit earlier on the stream today. And we're going to be going for about another hour and 10 minutes from right now. So you guys get some extra content today. Hopefully you guys are excited. Let's make some bank tonight. And yeah, I'm just honestly trying to get in on this this Twisted Bow. Every time, man. Every time I say it, like, it sells off. I honestly, like, I'm dumbfounded in the way that works. It feels like literally every single time I do it. Oh my. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, me and the Grand Exchange, we have a way with words. You know what I mean? It's like a romantic relationship. Bert says, what is your current cash stack at? I've got about 3 bill total right now. But we're only using it 2,140,000,000 today to flip, which is typically what we actually do. These Avernicks, that's kind of a lost cause. We're going to have to bag hold those, unfortunately. Yes, they will sell, like, overnight, but they're not going to sell probably for the entire stream, which feels bad. Wild Muffin says, they're always listening. They are always listening. Tebow is really trying hard to stay above 1 bill. Absolutely, Gyroscope. And honestly, an overnight listing beneath 1 bill or right at 1 bill, potentially a profitable one. I'd have to take a little bit closer of a look at that, but that doesn't seem too bad in my opinion. We're listed a little bit lower on that next Twisted Bow as well. Let me check the Dragon Hunter crossbow here. We're still on margin for that, so we're good there. Prim boots look pretty good right now. Don't know if that's actually going to work out for us, but we're going to try. Let's see, Prim boots. Hope don't instant buy. Okay, it didn't. Thank goodness. Thank goodness, man. I'm too tired of these instant buys, dude. Anyway, guys, we're sitting back enjoying the White Claw today. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully today was a good day for flipping for you. If it wasn't, let's use the weekend, guys, to make some gains. And of course, be sure to drop a like if you are enjoying this one, guys. It does help me out a lot. We did get the Twisted Bow off for only 690K. Which feels kind of bad. The Twisted Bow is a little bit stagnant right now. That's why I wanted to get back in on this next one for a little bit cheaper. I do think that it might rotate in the downward direction. And then we see Guar, and there he is, man, with the Temporos boss as well. Good to see it, man. And that boss is sick, dude. Like, I honestly want the pet for that boss. But my favorite pet would probably be Kriara. I think Kriara is just a freaking sick pet, man. Vulcan says, how are the orbs doing? Anyone flipping them around here? I do flip them, but only overnight, typically. Actively, they're not really as great. Excuse me. KBD pet is also sick, Gyroscope. That's a great point. Aguarin says, I got him with 16 KC. Very nice, man. Dude, that's freaking lucky. I can't get any luck like that, dude. The only luck I have is at the Grand Exchange, but I guess since that's what I do the most, it's worth it, right? We do see the Ancestral Rope Top looking okay right now, actually. It's not looking amazing, but it's looking better than it has been these past couple of streams, right? So let's go ahead and try to get a bunch of these in here. Oh, we only have a little bit of money, though. We'll do that for now. I believe we're still on margin for the Dragon Hunter crossbow. It is crashing a little bit, actually, but I'm going to leave that offer there. We'll keep a close eye on the price movements. I think Kriara, Corporal Beast, KBD, Temporos, those are probably my top 4 favorites. I think some of the Wilderness bosses are really cool as well, like Venenatus, that's a sweet pet. And they're just super rare, right? Like, getting a Wilderness pet would be amazing, man. Are they rare, or are they, like, not that rare? Because I feel like getting one, like, no one wants to go and farm Wilderness bosses. That's how I feel. I mean, hey, I don't think I'm one to speak. I spend most of my time at the Grand Exchange, so I might not have the best perspective on that. I'll need you guys in the chat to let me know if that is the case or not. I feel like I rarely see Wilderness pets, though. Anyway, we've got the Ancestral Rope Top here. Let's actually flip this for a quick margin and see if that's actually something that's realistic. It could be. It might not be, though. I think wildy pets are 1 and 2K, but because it's in the wilderness, it is very rare. Exactly. That was kind of like my point, right? We are buying more Avernix at a fairly cheap price, guys. So, I mean, are we catching the dump? Seems like it. But we're rotated in like 600K underneath these ones. So, it's going to be an interesting situation. I have the Venenatus pet. You make super good money doing it too. At least you did when I grinded it. Yeah, that's the thing though, is like the wilderness for the average player, kind of spooky, man. Like I'm not someone who wants to go into the wilderness because I know my prayer switching and my just general survival against another PKer is probably quite bad. So it's not something I really wanted to do, and I have been avoiding. Although people were telling me that, like, Venenatus is not that bad. Like, it's relatively easy to escape. But, like, that's the average player. Guys, my clicks... Oh, go watch some of the PVM streams, man. Woo! My clicks are a little bit off. Probably as good as your grandmother's, to be honest. Some people rebuild with Venenatus. That actually makes good sense. Crossbow's pretty cheap right now as well, so some people might pick that up to actually use it against Venenatus. One of the more, I guess, expensive sides of operating the crossbow is, I would think, the like, what are they called? The ether, I think is what it's called, is probably, like, the biggest deterrent. Now, I do want to sell this Dragon Hunter crossbow back. We are struggling to get them off for a decent price, but we're actually still in a profitable range on them, which is quite nice. And the Twisted Bow needs to be adjusted as well. Looks like the Twisted Bow margin is moving up for us, which is sort of what I predicted. I was just hoping we'd get another cheap one, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So let's go ahead and list another Twisted Bow in here. Maybe for a little bit less than this, though. Curious to see what they propose for wildy changes. Did they say when they were going to make any wildy changes? Like, did they put a horizon on that? Because I didn't see it in the, like, 2021 roadmap that they put out a couple months back. Anyway, guys, I hope you are enjoying the stream today. Definitely drop a like if you are. We're trying to rotate in and make some really good profits today. Honestly, mixed results on the profits so far. I mean, I'm not too crazy about it. We are making some decent money, but it's nothing to really brag about, right? So we're going to keep going here. We're going to keep flipping some stuff up. Currently about 3.7 mil an hour. We really need to get this Twisted Bow moving. Also, I do want to get a Scythe moving as well if we can. But right now, it's a little bit tough for us to do that. So it does take a little bit of time to find those Twisted Bow and the Scythe of Atur margins. So we'll just be very patient in the way that we actually find that and just take our time, guys. Sometimes being very, what is it, patient, I guess is the best way to put it, with these things, with these trades, is the way to go about it. There's just not a lot of Grand Exchange action right now. That's really it. Wild Muffin said, in the blogs in the next few weeks. Amazing, man. Yeah, I hope they bring something good to the wilderness. Like, I feel like PvP has been neglected for like 3 years, man. Feels bad, dude. Gyroscope said, I liked Bounty Hunter. Wish they didn't have to take it out because of bots and abusers. It's a shame, man. I mean, the good news is I do really think that Jagex is taking a huge stance on bots. Definitely a lot of people cracking down on bots right now. And they just came out with that plugin as well, right? That like the RuneLite plugin that tells you if someone's a bot or not, or gives you like a percentage that they might be a bot. I think that'll be super helpful in getting reports in. And I know that plugin team was working with the Jagex team as well to identify these botted accounts. So really positive news across the board from a bot busting standpoint. What is the plugin called? I think it's called like bot something. I don't know, bot busting or something. I have no idea. I saw a video on it though by I think Colonello. I think he put out a video on it. Anyway, we just made a really good margin on those Prim boots, about 200k in total, 100k each. Very nice. No crazy margins today. Very average movement across the board. And we're still waiting on that Ancestral Rope Top, actually. It's taking a long time. The Arcane Spirit Shield... Is it worth it? Like, it doesn't even have that great of a margin. I guess it is. We'll just do 2 of them for now. I don't want to put too much money into that. Hoping we can get back in on another scythe as well. Maybe we'll just sell this Avernick back. We'll see what this is going for. Could be a big margin on that. Keith Rowley says it's called a bot detector. Vulcan also chiming in with the same name as well. Thank you, man. Keith says, hello again from the Isle of Man. Good to see you, Keith. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome, everybody, to Friday's lovely money-making stream. And we're going a little bit longer today for you guys. We have another hour of flipping from this point going forward. So, it'd be a shame not to turn a couple million GP off that, am I right? It's just, I mean, we've had decent luck so far. I mean, it's not like we've had consistent profit, but we haven't had anything that's been like crazy. But we have had some like decent flips all around the board. Like, oh my god, that was a big flip. It didn't think it was a big flip. It actually tracked it incorrectly, but that was a monster flip, guys. That was, I mean, can you see that? That's a freaking monster margin, man. You can't make stuff like that up. Wow, very happy about that. It thought it was for a loss because we actually have these, so that's a shame, man. And actually, we can cap the loss on these ones as well and just get that money back. There will definitely be a loss in the end, but it is what it is, guys. We gotta find another item that's gonna make it up, though. Twisted Bow is still struggling, huh? Oh my god, that Twisted Bow is ripping! Holy, I gotta get one of these, man. We're gonna try to ride the hype on that one. It's currently going up a lot in margin. We have Vulcan saying, yesterday, I went ham on some free-to-play botting spots, got 58 bots killed. RIP to the bots. That's what I like to see, man. We definitely need less bots in game. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to have bots because a lot of the times they eventually get banned. But at the same time, we need less bots. Am I right? Who agrees? Do you think we need less bots in OSRS? Let me know in the live chat because honestly, we could do with a few less. John Wallace saying, yo, good to see you, John. Thank you for tuning in today, my man. Welcome to the stream. I do actually want to get another scythe listed. For some reason, like the scythe margin is just non-existent today. I really don't know where that thing is going today, honestly. Very stagnant. Yes, definitely less bots, but 0 bots, I don't know. LOL. Hey, sometimes the bots bring some cheap prices for us, you know what I mean? 26 viewers over on YouTube, 7 likes. Guys, try to smack that like button here today. We're trying to get to, let's go for 20 likes today. I think we can get 20 likes. We do have a little bit longer of a stream today, streaming for about another hour. And the profits, What do you guys think? Kind of questionable right now, am I right? We haven't made a ton of money from a profiting standpoint, but again, we are flipping probably the most competitive market you could ever flip in the game. You know, prime time on Friday, like the peak time on Friday, which is right now, is probably the hardest time to flip just because there is so much competition. So anyway, we're trying to do our best to actually get there, and yeah, we're going to make the best of it. Gyroscope says, I wish they didn't ruin every free-to-play moneymaker. Really stinks for the new players. Excuse me, guys. At the same time, though, this is free-to-play, right? So, like, in free-to-play, no matter what, the moneymaker is going to be worse because members are always going to have access to more content, better moneymakers in general. And honestly, free-to-play moneymakers would get abused with or without bots, right? So, honestly, if I was to recommend anything for someone to get into old-school RuneScape, it would be to buy a bond and start with that. Like, not for money, but like start with membership. I think that's very important from a gameplay standpoint. Like, if my friend was going to get into old school RuneScape, I would buy him a month of membership because the member experience, there's just way more off the bat, right? I think it's really hard for Jagex to convert players who strictly stay to free to play. Obviously, there is effort to do that with like this below Ice Mountain quest line and things like that. But honestly, I think it's a waste of time, personally. The development time could just be spent better in like a members content kind of realm. Light Up the L says, I mean, $10 for maybe a month when $20 for 2 gets you into the game, then basically you sustain your own bonds. Absolutely. I mean, only if you're dedicated to actually grinding your cash stack out, which I don't think is the main goal of RuneScape, unless you're like me and you like that challenge, but I don't think that has to be the main goal for you. Trying to get these Pegasians, which looks like they crashed in price really quick. So I'm actually trying to pick one up for cheap, see if I can flip that around. These Dragon Hunter crossbows still taking a while to sell off. Let me actually see the margin on that. It still looks like it might sell. I'm not positive, but there's a large margin on it right now, actually. So much stuff just sitting here on the exchange, having trouble moving a lot of stuff back and forth today, which is, I mean, it's not like that bad, but I want to be making some profits today, man. We got a little bit longer of a stream today, so we should focus on getting some money, right? And, yeah, right now that's not really the case, so. And this Ancestral Robe Top taking forever, man. Now I see why. There we go. Twisted Bow selling off a lot better on that second one. We're going to do that same exact thing really quick. Let's see. How much we get on that second one? Oh, only 795k. I thought we were actually way more than that, but that's still pretty good. Oh, wait. We actually have to rotate this. Bert says, I'm level 82. Is Barrows a decent moneymaker, or is it time-consuming based on chance and luck? Honestly, I think it's a pretty good moneymaker, man. I think Barrows is a good moneymaker. I think there's better options that you might want to focus towards. Things like Zalra, if you can get there, or if you have the skill to do it. Or at the same time, you could also focus on Vorkath. I think Vorkath is another great moneymaker you can use as well. And that one's a little bit easier. Vorkath is pretty easy to do. And look, I'm a very bad PVMer, and I'm saying that. That means something. But what do you guys think? How do you think Jagex should convert new players to the game? I think that the group Ironman thing will actually help people stay connected to the game with their friends. And if their friends are playing, they're going to play as well, right? Another thing I think the Jagex team could do is to hold like a refer a friend event. You know, World of Warcraft does this a lot. Maybe it's like, if you successfully recruit a friend via email and you get them through Tutorial Island and they start playing the game from there, maybe Jagex will give you on one account, like, I don't know, maybe like a week of membership or something like that. and give your friend a weekend membership. I don't know, something like that. I don't know if that's maybe the best way to do it, because that could lead to a lot of botting as well. So we'll have to keep that in mind. You know, we got to be sensitive about these like Twitch Prime events that they have too. But something like that, I really think could get players interested in the game, get people playing for the long term, and honestly increase the player base count, because that seems to be a pretty big issue in my opinion right now. The player base is declining, and it's declining rapidly from the peak that was happening during the virus. Now, of course, the player base count is going to regress a little bit, but we have to think the longevity of the game, right? We see the economy coming down. That is most likely because a lot of players are leaving the game, and there's this extra supply in game from the peak times that is kind of circulating the economy. So we have this oversupply in place. Not a lot of demand on the horizon as well, because there's no real updates on the horizon. So right now, there's really not a lot for the player base to look into. Yes, we have combat achievements. Yes, we have, what's the other one? Group Ironman, clan revamp. We have these things, right? But they're just not enough to really keep the players excited. We really need something like a Raids 3 coming out to really kickstart that economy, get the player base back up, invigorated in the game, and get people playing. I mean, that's very important. Barrows are broke man bossing. Barrows isn't terrible. Vork is locked behind a lot of questing, though. Hey, you're going to have to do it eventually, man. To be honest, I really don't know how to bring a new player to OSRS besides mobile aspects, but bringing a player back to old school RuneScape is their best bet. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Eventually, we're going to have to get new players, though. OSRS HD would definitely help with getting new players, in my opinion. The game doesn't appeal to most people. That's true. Yeah, it's definitely less appealing, I would say. Now, I do want to sell this last Dragon Hunter crossbow off. Gonna wait on this next twisted bow, though, in the meantime. I don't think this Pegasian is gonna work very well. And let's sell this last Dragon Hunter crossbow back. It's gonna be a break even on that last one. Keep our eye out for some good margins here. The Sanguesti looking pretty decent. VR OSRS, says Wuggy. Imagine. Dude, that would be sick. Honestly, I'd be so into that. The Witty says, I watched your flipping with 100 mil, tried using unburnt pages, made 3 mil while sleeping. It's that simple, man. It's that simple. Congrats on the 3 mil, man. And what did you think of the video, by the way? Definitely go drop a comment on there. Let me know what you thought of it. But welcome to the stream today as well, Witty, man. Good to see you. Sorry, I didn't eat lunch today, and the White Claw is hitting me a little bit stronger than it should, okay? I'm a little bit of a lightweight, okay? So you gotta keep that in mind. I'm actually curious, is anyone here in the chat, were they here for the 6-hour live stream that we did, where we did 1 mil in profit equals 1 beer? That was a legendary stream, man. We gotta do something like that again. I mean, I was like 6 drinks deep trying to figure out how to flip these items, and it actually was going okay because it was the old style of flipping, right? It wasn't with real-time prices, but man, I miss the old times like that, so we got to do something like that again. Also, the 24-hour stream, amazing. Can't skip lunch. Food is life. I don't have any food in my fridge. That's the problem. I would have eaten lunch if I had food, but I didn't go to the grocery store, and it's not that easy for me to go. The grocery store is actually surprisingly far away from me, and I don't have a car, so I gotta walk there. I do live in a pretty accessible city, but it's just not that easy. Really good video. Thank you, Winnie, man. Thank you. Really bad profit today, guys. God. I'm actually really struggling right now to get things moving. We did get a site, though, so that's good to see. I don't think we're going to get a big margin on this, but it should be at least decent. Should be enough to make us happy. Yeah, I don't think these arcanes are going to work out either, guys. We're gonna switch out of those. I'm actually curious, how long do you guys wait on a flip before you cancel it or move the price? For me, I'm usually pretty active about it, but I'm curious how long you guys wait as well. I'm trying not to get my listings wrong. It's very important. Let's go ahead and get maybe 3 of these going here. 10 minutes says Mad Dog 2020. I mean, of course, you know, the item also matters. So you don't want to wait too long on something that is a little bit more high volume where the margin's probably shifted away from you and is stable. But something like a Scythe, a Twisted Bow, or something like that, oh yeah, you can wait a while for those things to fill. Clusa says, hey boss, good to see you, Clusa. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here today. Guys, we are going for 20 likes today, so if you haven't smashed that like button, definitely feel free to drop a like on it. I know I've been slacking on the Wednesday upload schedule. We did get one out this week, though. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It is the 100 mil flipping guide with real-time prices. Also, we'll have another one. I don't know. I'm going to try to get 2 out next week, so we'll see if that happens. I don't know. I'm pretty busy, but I do really want to do that. Sometimes you just get motivated on the YouTube grind and you want to keep uploading, and that's kind of how I feel right now. And that's why we're going a little bit longer on today's stream. We still got another 45 minutes left, guys. Incredible. Let's make some money. The Twisted Bow is really ripping up in price right now as well, so we're gonna have to actually adjust our offers here on that Twisted Bow. And we're actually going to cancel the Kodai Wand, and we're going to move the Twisted Bow up a little bit here. We're going to give about a 200k bump on the Twisted Bow to actually be competitive on our price listing. I have full gilded in bank, says Bert. Shall I sell to increase cash stack above 10 mil and flip? If so, what's good to flip at that level? Now, Bert, we do have a 10 mil flipping guide on the channel for you to leverage, but since you are here on the live stream today, let me teach you about some tips to flip with a 10 mil cash stack. Honestly, with a 10 mil cash stack, that's not... Did that just, like, not get tracked from a price standpoint? Anyway, if you are flipping with a... What? That is not true! Wait, hold on. I did not sell it for that. Did I? Oh my god, I did. What? Wait, that's like... Wait. What is going on? This has been the funkiest day of flipping we've had in a while. Anyway, flipping with 10 million GP, right? If you're flipping with 10 million GP, you're going to want to stick to high volume items. So things like death runes, law runes, nature runes, blood runes, sharks, monkfish, mana rays, amethyst crystal, air orbs, battle stabs. Those are really great flips for a 10 mil cash stack. Why are they so good? Well, high volume flips with lower cash stacks are best because they provide the safest return on your money. And there we go. We finally got a Scythe moved as well. And it's gonna provide you with the safest return on your money. And honestly, you want to take a low risk when you have a 10 mil cash stack. You don't want to get all risky, start trying to flip these large margins. It's not going to work in your favor. Flipping high volume, sticking to the safe stuff, and consistently hitting profit is the best way to do it. Jeff K says, hey Scape, I watch all the time, but I never say anything. Thanks for the content. No problem, Jeff. Thank you for tuning in today. And thanks for saying, hey, by the way, Jeff, definitely drop a like if you're enjoying, because we are going for 20 likes today, so do appreciate it. We also have Vulcan saying, Friday Night Funkin'. Absolutely. I think it's a little bit with this competition here. It's throwing me off my game, but these Avernick Defenders, if you guys do remember, we are bag holding those. We are sitting on that offer. It's going to take a while to actually go in our favor, I'm pretty sure. The Twisted Bow has not bought yet. We are trying to chase that margin upwards as well. Is it going to keep going up? Probably, at least in the short term here on the stream. So I'm going to try to get one and sell it for maybe a mil over where we buy it. I do think it's actually possible that we do get a trade on that one. Now, the Grazi's showing some signs of life as well. We're only going to be able to flip one of them today, which is a little bit sad, but we're going to try and get one here. This dragon and a crossbow is just, like, not doing its thing. Let's see. Let me actually see where the margin on that is. It's just coming down further. Now we're at about a 20k loss on this last one here. Can't believe we haven't gotten that off yet. I wonder if it's just, like, weird market swings or if we're just being stupid. Gotta get the party hat adjusted correctly. Still have 40 minutes left to flip, guys. What should we flip? Trying to get in on those larger margins like the Scythe or the Twisted Bow. Mixed results all day on those items, honestly, at least since the start of the stream. Twisted Bow does look like it's coming up in price a little bit. Scythe of Vitur, a little bit lagging behind. The margins on the Scythe of Vitur have not really been updating too much, so it's good to see we finally have some more updates on that margin there, and we're trying to flip another one, so we'll see how that works out. We did get the Dragon Hunter crossbow off, though, which is quite nice. Let's try and get a little bit of like a faster flip in the meantime, and these Bandos Tacits look like they're actually going to do that for us. And let me see those Tacits. And we're going to go in big on those, try to get a few of them. There we go. And yeah, all our margins are pretty good right now. Anyway, let me know in the live chat, guys, how much cash do you flip with every time you have a flipping session? Are you someone who's flipping with like 2 billion GP? Or are you someone who has a smaller cash tag? Maybe you're working with 100 mil GP and you're flipping with that. Maybe 200 mil, 300 mil, 500 mil. Let me know what your cash tag is looking like and how much you've made in this past week. I love knowing where you guys are in your flipping journey, and it really makes me feel kind of at home when I know there's other people out there like me flipping their cash tag up. Also, by the way, if you haven't joined us on Discord, be sure to join us with the link in the description below. We have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and we'd love to have you join that. We post a bunch of our good flips in there, and you can definitely learn a thing or two in that Discord group. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in today. Do appreciate it. Let's make some money. Vulcan says, I like to look at my own bank when I can't think of items to flip. It's very helpful since if you aren't using it consistently, chances are other people are using them for gear and stuff. Absolutely. I think that's a good way to get item ideas as well. Slowly waiting for these flips to come through. Got to be a little bit patient sometimes. And we did get another Scythe, which is actually amazing. We're going to go a little bit larger on this one, actually. Let me see where that Scythe is, though. I always check my margin right before I list if I can. OSRS Clusa says, fortunately, I've climbed the ladder through flipping / PVM to be able to work with a 2 to 2.5 bill cash stack, making about 100 mil weekly. Absolutely incredible, Clusa, man. Congrats on that. What boss brought you like the most money to your cash stack, or like what PVM drop maybe brought you there as well? I'm someone who is 100% Grand Exchange grown. I started with about a 9 mil cash stack back in the day, not even a 10 mil stack like I recommend people flip with, and basically my money now is all from flipping. So it's actually a little bit crazy if you think about it. And I'm not saying it was any short measure. It took me a while to get here. I'm almost wondering, guys, if we cancel that Twisted Bow and maybe go in for the Elysian Spirit Shield next. What do you guys think? Should I try to get the Elysian Spirit Shield flipped, or should I be a little bit more patient and try to get this Twisted Bow off? It's also good to see the Kodai wand selling as well. Very happy about that. The Scythe has just had some funky movements. I mean, it's kind of trading sideways right now. I'm looking at the graph here, and it might go lower again. I think it's going to double bottom at about 558.2 mil. Might be another time to pick one up at that price point. Tebow all day, every day. The Tebow is definitely a very consistent performer, but I mean, we've been sitting on this Tebow for a while, and we haven't gotten an offer in on it yet, which is surprising. Let's rotate it up a bit more. I like flipping the Tebow. It feels like there's always a lot of demand for the Tebow, and it's just relatively easier to flip. Also, at the same time, you can get some juicy margins on it as well. We also did fill a Grazi here, so we should go ahead and sell that back. And let me see where the margin's looking like on that one. Oh, definitely came down a lot from what I was hoping to get. That is fine. Bandos Tacit's buying extremely quickly. Could be getting dumped on. We'll have to see here. Should be okay, though. I'm going to try to clear a mill on this next Twisted Bow. We're going to see if it works. Also, what do you guys think of the crash here currently in old school RuneScape? Are you trying to take advantage of the downtrending markets? Like, are you a PVMer who's trying to buy some gear in this downtrending market? I definitely think it is a good time to buy some gear if you are looking for some long-term PVM upgrades. The reason I actually say that is, look, the market could continue to go lower, but you have to keep in mind that these are some of the cheapest prices that we've seen in, like, I don't know, since 2018 on a lot of this stuff. So it's never a bad idea when things look cheap to pick them up, not from an investment standpoint, but from a gear advancement standpoint. Maybe you're someone who's like, hey, I want to buy a scythe. I haven't been able to get one, and it's about 300 mil cheaper than where I'm used to seeing it. Let me buy one. That is definitely a good idea because you're going to be using it over the long term, and in the long run, that's actually going to pay out. And if you sell it in the future, it's actually going to be for a gain most likely than a loss. Also, it's one of those items where, like, you don't care if you bag hold it because you're using it in a PVM situation, so it doesn't really matter how long it takes. Let's actually get this Twisted Bow back as well here. We're going to sell this for... I'm going to get greedy with it, guys. I really am. We should be able to execute that. We should be able to. I upgraded my ranged gear a bit. Definitely worth it, man. Gyroscope says, trying to make some money, lol. Dude, I'm struggling today, honestly, man. Hopefully we can get this Scythe of Ventura off. It does look like it's coming down in margin, actually, but I'm hoping it swings back up as well. And if it does, we will be in a good situation. I'm going to lower it just slightly, around kind of near where our first offer was. We're still making a profit on it, but not nearly as much. It's always good to take upgrades when you get the chance as well, especially from a PVM standpoint. We have Clusa saying, I would say 4.5k Hydra kills got me 4 claws that gave me a good enough start to have flipping capital. Now trying to see if I can get my first drop from Solo Nightmare. Good luck on that, Clusa, man. Hopefully you get something juicy like the Harmonious Orb, but of course there's no guarantees when it comes to PVM. Sitting back, kicking back, making some money today, guys. Let's get it. Give me 1 sec. I also got to check a very exclusive text message. And it wasn't that cool. Avernick ain't looking good, sir. No, we're going to leave the Avernicks in. It's not something that's going to sell on stream. I don't want to sell it for a loss. We're already taking about a 200k loss on the ones that we are selling each. So that's like 600k total. And we just got in at a very, very bad time. So we're going to leave those overnight. We're going to take the 600k loss overnight. And we're just going to go from there, honestly. I want to see, I'm hoping the Scythe sells off relatively soon because the Twisted Bow looks like it's gapping a nice margin again, and I would like to get in on another one for potentially a cheaper price than we did these prior times. We're going to cut back on the Kodai to try to pursue that opportunity as well, and the Grazi is just going to have to sit there for now. Sitting back, kicking back, waiting for these flips to come through. 3.3 mil right now. Another pretty bad day from a flipping standpoint. I mean, I am working with a lot of money, and it's a shame when we have margins like this. We might want to try to hunt another item here, like something maybe a little bit more lucrative that is not as expensive. Obviously, that's going to incur a lot of risk as well, but that will be the Volatile Orb. I do want to see if I can flip one of these here today on stream, and if we can, I'll be a very happy camper. I think we can't even list one? We can't even list one? Oh my goodness, man. We are strapped for cash right now. We gotta sell some items off. Ooh, Grazi coming down very, very quickly. Not happy about that. I think we'll be patient. I think if we just wait a little bit longer, it actually will fluctuate in our favor today. Slowly waiting for some items. It's obviously a pretty boring day on the exchange. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just not going in our way. Clusa says the Volatile Orb, those take some patience and never had success myself. You have to think of it from like an overnight standpoint. If you think of it like that, you will actually have success on those Volatile Orbs. It's definitely one of the harder flips to actually achieve, but I also think it is a very powerful flip as well. It's more something that I flip over a longer time frame though. And I'm refreshing the margin on that Volatile Orb. It looks pretty good. I just need to make sure I have enough cash to actually go ahead and do it. I really don't want to dump this Grazi, but I just might. You know, like, this thing might keep coming down, so let's just get rid of it. 111 mil flat. What is that? Like, I think it would maybe, let's see, 125K? Boys, we can't afford that, man. We got to get this volatile orb going. Again, struggling so hard for flips today. I don't know what it is. It just seems super competitive right now. We can't really get a lot going. And we're going to get the volatile orb listed here. We're going to hope that buys. A little bit under margin on that right now as well. I think we're still in a profit on the tacits, but they are rotating a little bit lower. A lot of margins moving downward right now, which is not great, to be quite honest. I would like to actually try and flip in a harmonious orb overnight if I can. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I'm definitely going to try to do that. Do an extra 15 minutes on the stream to do the orb at Lamau. Oh, wait, no, we still have 30 minutes left in the stream, Klusa. Usually we only stream for an hour, but I decided to start 30 minutes earlier today, so we actually have another 30 minutes to go. Plenty of time to make up some profits here. The tacits are liquidating on the exchange here. Still making a profit on them, not nearly as much as we were before, but still some money to be made. Being very patient with them right now, very happy about that. And honestly, there's not too much I'm interested in besides that. The Dragon Claws looking okay. They are coming back down in price. Might be worth taking a look at. The Kodai Wand is actually gapping as well. So actually, I'm going to try to get in on some more Kodais here. We actually did successfully hit that margin before, so there's no reason we don't try and hit it again. Let's see, the Kodai Wand is going for, okay, that's actually pretty decent right there. I do want to see if I can flip a few of these, but it will be definitely one of the more challenging flips, just because flipping Kodais typically does take some time, so we have to be patient with that one. Also, the Scythe of Vitur not really selling off quite yet. We can lower it and get it off for still a profit, but a lot less, which I think we're going to do. That should sell off at that price point. We still have a decent margin on it. It's just not really anything great. I think like 400K. Feels bad, man. 400K on a Scythe. Super low. Not happy about it, man. Tom Malone says, to think I'd be up late enough to catch one of these live. Good to see you, Tom. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Hopefully you are enjoying it. I'm assuming it's your first time catching it live. It's great to have you here today. Be sure to ask any questions you have about flipping or money making with your cash stack in the live chat. These streams are all about helping you guys learn how to flip, so should be a very interactive experience. You definitely want to ask any questions you might have about it, and I'll give you my best answer that I possibly can. Clusa says, any tips on overnight harm orbs? Yeah, definitely. List low. List lower than you think it's probably going to go. I see, honestly, a lot of the times the harmonious orb trading like 5 mil above where I'm able to fill the offer overnight. So it would take a little bit more in-depth analysis than that. We'd have to take a look at the graph, see where it's trading on a daily period, on a weekly period, and listing near those low prices to try to get a good deal. Sometimes the markets just trend upwards very aggressively, though, and those offers do not fill, and that's okay. It is always better to not buy an item overnight than to buy an item for too high and sell it in the morning for a loss. I think those are very important tips to remember, but Klusa, I can take a look at the harmonious orb right now and see where I think like a good overnight opportunity on the harm orb would actually be. Let me just actually load this in here. Okay. My graph isn't loading. There it is. Okay. Wow. Harmonious orb crashing big time. It does look like right now that the harmonious orb is trading sideways a little bit at the 860 mil price point. But from a 7-day standpoint, this thing is looking aggressive towards the downtrend. I see a lot of volatility in the harm orb. If I was to list these overnight and I wanted to flip 2 of them, I'd probably list one at like 840 and one at like 825. Just because look how aggressive the downtrend on that harmonious orb is. Very scary. Wuggy says, I've unfortunately had to take over a 1 mil loss because of accidentally pricing the items, so be careful, guys. Make sure you correctly list your item prices. Happens to me all the time, Wuggy. You have zero idea, man. Literally my most common problem when I'm losing money is because of that. Anyway, let's get another Scythe going here. Trying to stretch the margin on that a little bit. Mixed results on it so far. That's what I'm saying. The Harmonious Orb is scary. It is definitely a scary item, man. We have Jack Knight saying, hey, it looks like I'm catching the end. Good to see you, Jack Knights. We actually are streaming for another 30 minutes, so be sure to kick it back with us, man. Tune in for a little bit longer, and of course, drop a like as well. Guys, we are going for 20 likes today. 30 would be insane, but we are going for 20 likes today, so be sure to drop a like if you are enjoying the stream today. Let's make some money today, guys. 3.8 mil, about 3.6 mil an hour currently. Not a great profit, honestly, and we do have this Twisted Bow still on hand. I'm a little bit nervous about it. We can sell this off for a profit, but not as large of a profit as I was hoping. That is okay, though. We'll try to get another one for a little bit cheaper of a price, and we'll go from there. I mean, that's literally all you can hope for at this point. A lot of margins being very stale today. Tons of competition on margins. I mean, think about it. We are flipping at the most active time ever in the weekly cycle, right? Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is like the most active time to flip. So this is a little bit sketchy from a competition standpoint, but we should be able to make some money on it. And let's see here. Oh, Elysian's crashing badly right now. I want to see, maybe we go for the Elysian. I mean, hey, that could be some bank if we get the Elysian. Real talk. I mean, it's down like 2.5 mil from the last margin check. We don't even have enough money to pull together to get it, though, I don't think, which is a shame. We'll try it, though. Do we have enough? We're going to be short. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. Oh, my God. Let's go for it. We're going lower than the low offer right now. If I see that someone actually buys in for a little bit higher and that margin adjusts, I will cycle into an Elysian at a higher price. But we're trying to play the downtrend on the Elysians right now. Clusa says, that's what I'm saying. The Harmonious Orb is scary. It's definitely a scary item, man. Not something I would recommend that beginners try to flip overnight, even if they have larger cash stacks. Something like the Scythe of Vitur or the Twisted Bow is going to be way more consistent and a little bit less risky, but still tons of potential on the item as well, right? Like, if you make like 3-4 mil overnight on a Scythe of Vitur, that's pretty good. I'd be very happy about that. Jack Knight says, oh, fantastic. I'll just be vibing, cooking swordfish. Good luck on the cooking gains, Jack, man. And thank you for tuning in today, by the way. Do appreciate your support here. Now, we have Bird saying, it is obviously a small fry for you, but I just make 100k on dwarf multi-cannon sets by dismantling them and selling the pieces individually. My flipping journey has started. That is the best thing I've ever heard, Bert. I'm so happy you started your flipping journey, man. And be sure to let me know if you have any questions along the way. I'm happy to coach you every step of the way until you've got a 10 mil hashtag, my man. We have Wuggy saying, let's get more likes on this video, guys. Yeah, I mean, definitely drop a like if you are enjoying. We also have a Discord group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, so be sure to join us with the link in the description below. We would love to have you in the Discord group. It is an amazing place to learn how to flip with your cash stack, so be sure to check that out if you are interested. We're going risky. We're going risky on the Elysian, man. We're going risky. We're going risky. I can't... we're either making profit today or we're not, boys. Let's go. We only got, what? Like 22 minutes left to squeeze in some profit. So let's get it. By the way, what is your guys' favorite item to flip in old school RuneScape? Now, it doesn't have to be an item that you flip consistently, but I'm just curious, like maybe it was an item that you used to flip when you had a smaller cash stack, and like you used to grind that item out a ton. I mean, for me, it was honestly the Justiciar armor sets. I used to make a bank on those things in the past, man, and they were even amazing overnight as well. So flipping that Justiciar was really a really big game changer for me from a profit standpoint. Light Up the L says the Staff of Balance, not something that I've typically flipped in the past. It's a little bit too low volume for me to really get interested in that one. YOLO time on the Ellie, says Vulcan. It's not necessarily a YOLO, I would say, but it is definitely a more aggressive listing than most of these listings. So we're going to see if we can get it, man. We'll have to take a look. It tends to be a little bit lower volume of an item, so we will definitely require some patience on that. And it's not going to be the easiest to trade back and forth either, that's for sure. But we will very patiently wait. Mike Gilbert says, tuning in a little bit late, but dropped a like. Mike, man, you're the man. Thank you so much. We're trying to get to 20 likes today. We're almost there, so I definitely appreciate your support on that road to 20 likes. But he also says, tuning in late, but I dropped a like. 3.8 mil profit for the stream is pretty juicy, by my standards at least. It's a little bit on the lower side, to be honest, but we just hit that 4 mil mark. We are going to go for another 20 minutes. Can we get another Twisted Bow, guys? I freaking sure hope we can, man. That last Twisted Bow was not really a lot of profit at all either. Which is a shame. It's a shame. Do you think the Dragon Hunter crossbow will drop? It might drop, it might go up. Honestly, I have zero idea. If markets tend to downtrend on a macro standpoint, then obviously the Dragon Hunter crossbow will come back down in price. We also have Byte Gaming saying, what are some good items to flip with a 50 mil stack? We just did a video on how to flip with a 100 mil, which Byte, I might think that that video might help you out a little bit, especially as you grow into that 100 mil cash stack. But you're going to want to flip these high limit items, right? So like Burnt Pages, Purple Sweets is good, Grimy Renar Weed, Amethyst Crystal, Battle Staves. Those are all really great options. Definitely recommend checking those out if you haven't already. We also just filled a Twisted Bow for a pretty cheap price, guys. Very happy about that. And we're going to list this back here. Try to turn a quick profit on that Twisted Bow as well. Try to increase that profit per hour a little bit. R3 says, dropped a like, one more to go, or 21 likes. Thank you, guys. Do appreciate that. And finally, we have the Avernix selling off, which is going to hurt us from a profit standpoint a little bit, but I'm definitely happy about it. Keep in mind that we actually have a little bit more profit than this is saying, because we had a massive flip on the Avernix Defender Hilt that didn't get counted, unfortunately, in our Grand Exchange history, but that was like 400k, so we're actually like 400k over what this profit point says, but like, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just pretend like this is our actual profit. But we did actually make a little bit more. It's a shame that flip didn't get counted, to be quite honest. I think we can actually edit that if we want. Maybe we can't. I thought there was a way you could actually switch it around. Guess not, though. Anyway. Let's go back up here. Jack Knight says, given the potential for more Raid 1 drops entering the game, is it fair to expect a decline in price? / also, do you think they will actually implement the GE tax? I don't think the GE tax will get implemented personally, but it is definitely a risk factor at hand. At the same time, though, do I expect, you know, I don't really think Raids 1 items are going to drop because more supply comes into the game at this point. I think it's just a player-based thing, right? If there's less people playing the game, there's less demand for the Raids items, and people aren't really going to Raids as much, then obviously those items will come back down in price. And yeah, waiting for the Elysian to buy up. I mean, we're going to be very patient on that one. And the Twisted Bow as well. Actually, let's actually knock up the margin on the Elysian. Going in risky for this Elysian, guys. Big time. This could really work or really might not. Sometimes at the end of the stream, you just gotta chuck some profit. Slowly waiting for that Twisted Bow. Come on, buddy. I know you want to sell off. We are close to the market listing on that Twisted Bow, so is it going to sell off? I hope so. Is it guaranteed? Of course not. No flips are guaranteed on the Grand Exchange, guys, and I think that's an important lesson to learn for people who are learning how to flip, who might be a little bit newer to it. The Grand Exchange is not, you know, easy money, quote unquote. It is risky. You are risking your money to make more money, and it's just not something that can be seen as easy, quote unquote, profit. Vulcan says, YOLO Elysian. That's what we're doing, man. We definitely have an aggressive listing on that Elysian. We also have Jack asking, I was more thinking around the increased number of drops per raids, plus some kind of point balancing, but you've definitely got more experience than I do. It's more of it. I actually have a video coming out on why I think the old school RuneScape economy is crashing, and I think player base count is probably one of the biggest features to that. Update Horizon is obviously another feature that relates to this as well, but I don't think people really look at this as much, and I think that's a problem. People don't really understand how much of an effect it actually has. We're we're going to go for another twisted bow. Very happy to get that last one off. We're not making a lot on these twisted bows, but at least they're consistently moving on the exchange here. We finally have found our groove as far as those go. No luck on the Elysian yet either. Be patient with that one. I mean, I'm hoping the Elysian does turn in our favor. It hasn't quite yet, so it's a little bit of a shame, but it definitely could in the next couple of minutes here. Oh, another Avernix selling, hurting into our profit here. Let's see how much it says we've lost. It says we've lost about 614k on the Avernix, which is actually not true, but we'll just let it be true for now. It's just easier to calculate when we have this here. But I guess at the end, we could see how much we have in our cash stack and actually calculate it that way. Unfortunately, the flipping utilities plugin did track one of our flips incorrectly, and what we made from a profit standpoint was actually calculated as a loss. I'm hoping we can get another twisted bow here. Still waiting on the Elysian. That's definitely going to be a make or break situation. Okay, we finally got the last Avernic off. Wait, I think it counted it now. It did. It did. It counted the last one as a profit, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. No, it still counted it as a loss. Wait, did it? Yeah, it did. Wait, it only counted it flipped. Wait, I was looking at the wrong one. No, I wasn't. I don't know, man. Whatever it is, man. Anyway. Okay, can't scrutinize on the numbers too much. We need an accountant for that. We do have 129 mil on hand, though. Looks like the Elysian also coming back up in price. I was listed a little bit too low on that Elysian. Super unfortunate. We'll get in on another one, though. Anyway, guys, I hope you are enjoying the stream today. We got another 15 minutes to make some profit today. Can we do it? We're going to do our best to actually go ahead and do that. That being said, Twisted Bow, trying to get another one of those. Elysian, fingers crossed that buys. The Elysian is one of the more risky flips that we're doing here today. The Elysian, I do like to flip this thing overnight. It's a little bit better of a performer, although it's less consistent than the Twisted Bow or the Scythe of Ventura. Those are probably my two primary overnight flips. I also really like to flip them actively because I find them to be really great flips in the game. I mean, they're super easy to flip, and you can make a good amount of money on them. So we are making less and less for every Twisted Bow that we flip here. Currently averaging 581k for every Twisted Bow. That's terrible. That's really, really bad. And 590k for every Scythe of Ventura. Also pretty bad. You're really, every time you're flipping, you're trying to get that average to like 700, 800k at least. Trying to get that to 1 mil, obviously. But the market right now is just a little bit competitive. It's not going to let us do that today. We are flipping during a prime time, so that is something to keep in mind. Now, we're actually going to rotate this Twisted Bow up a bit more for a larger profit because currently the margin looks like it's closing on it, and I'd rather not do that. I want to see if I can make more profit off that than keep lowering my offer and close that profit. We're actually going to cut back on the Elysian as well. I think it's looking a little bit risky right now, and I really don't want to do that. Rage Virus with the 100 bits, man. He says, made it to the weekend. Absolutely, Rage. Good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to the live stream. As always, a very welcome guest here in the stream. Thank you for the 100 bits, man. Do appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. Happy Friday, dude. Hopefully you've got the full weekend off. I don't know your work schedule too much, but I do assume you do. So thank you, Rage, dude, again for the 100 bits, man. We also have World of RS popping in. Been a minute since I've seen you around, man. He says, hey, my first 2 weeks of vacation, I have 2 days left, and I'll be back to work. Hope you're doing well, man. Of course, World. Thank you for stopping by with your time, dude. Do appreciate that. Spending your precious vacation time, seeing yours truly, the #1 Grand Exchange Flipper. Self-proclaimed #1 Grand Exchange Flipper, by the way. Also, let's go ahead and get the Scythe of Ventura listed again. I don't want to stay too long on that Elysian because it's a little bit risky, right? We don't want to sit too long on it. The margin on it is closing, and I don't want to stick around and see what happens on that Elysian in the short term here. Just not interested, man. It's a shame because that margin got really big and then someone closed it, which kind of sucks, but it could come back down again. That'd be my guess. Is it's probably going to trade pretty tight, and then it's going to open back down. Maybe 1 bill, 4 mil is probably where it's going to be trading around. Totally a guess, though. Totally a guess. Clusa says, I'm so happy they added the 1-month graph to the real-time prices. So am I, man. Super helpful. Rage says, I do indeed. How's it going today? Margins treating you decently? You know, Rage, they're treating me well enough. I mean, we haven't made a ton of profit today, considering we have been streaming a little bit longer than we normally do. We actually had a lot of luck on that medium volume stuff today, which I was surprised about, right? Because that's typically not the case when you're flipping on the Grand Exchange. So, I would say we've had decent luck. We haven't been making that much money, but at the same time, we haven't had too many bad situations. Besides the Avernic Defenders, those were probably the worst situation of the day. I think we lost about 600k total on those, so maybe that is a little bit bigger than average of a loss for us. But regardless, we're going to go in on the... Actually, the Arcane Spirit Shields are going to take too long, actually. We got to do a different item. Maybe the Armadillo Chain Skirt instead. Let's see where that is. Okay, looks like a decent margin right now. Go in fat for that. And we'll just wait. Flipping is a waiting game, guys. That's why I love to have the live chat here, so I can talk to somebody while I wait for these flips to go through. It's a pretty good day so far, though, as far as just a good day in general, guys. I mean, we're off work today. We're off for the weekend. It's kind of like hard to be upset about that. You know what I mean? And the Arcane Spirit Shield's already rotating up in price. I'm glad I actually didn't list those because they do take a little bit longer to flip. And I don't want to list anything that's going to take too long at this point. Armadillo Crossbow, though, looks pretty good. We're going to try to pump this one real quick. Oh, I think we lagged out there for a second. Can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully the stream is still connected here. I do apologize if the quality got worse there for a minute. I didn't mean for that stream to come down. But anyway. OSRS Clusa says, can you reveal the item you invested in and lost 15 mil the other week? Not yet, Clusa, because I actually re-entered the item, so I can't reveal it quite yet. But I will once it's over, man. World of RS says, I haven't been flipping much lately, more like sitting on bad items for the past couple of weeks. I will have something to sell off, but what I bought for lower, but nothing that big. I mean, OSRS, like, or World of RS, I mean, I'm glad it's not, like, as big of a loss. Like, I feel like a lot of people are bag holding major losses right now, and that's just not really a great way to look at the current market. Things could keep downtrending. You could be losing a lot of money. It might be more beneficial if you cycle into some other items. That's just my 2 cents. No luck yet on the getting this Twisted Bow off. We are waiting a little bit longer for that one. I do want to sell it off, though, before the end of the stream so we can get some profit here. But we'll be patient with it. Jack says, I had a freeze for about 20 seconds, but everything seems clear. A little bit of lag, no biggie. Okay, happy to hear it, man. Look, if you're, you know, a longer-term fan of this channel, you know that there is nothing new to lag here, man. So, anyway. I'm gonna take some water really quick. Haven't had any all stream, I don't think. Always feels good on the good old system. Better than the alcohol does, that's for sure. But the alcohol makes you feel some type of way, you know what I mean? A little bit different. Slowly waiting for these flips to sell off. Flipping is not a glorious game, guys. It's a patient game. It's a boring game. We are aggressively buying these Armadillo Crossbows as well, just to see if I can turn a bigger profit on it. It's actually kind of a little bit of an experiment here. Let's see if we can do it. Can I ask you what you studied in school, says Funk Up? I studied information systems, believe it or not. I did not study economics. A lot of people assume I studied economics, but that's not the case. Although, if I went back and I had to choose again, I would study economics, definitely. Jack says, I figured it was just on my end, LOL. Nope, it was me, man. Look, hey, Jack, I feel for you, man. That means you got a laggy connection. I feel for you. I do sometimes as well. No luck on the site yet either. Shame, man. Twisted Bow will probably sell. I don't know if it'll sell before the end of the stream, though. I really hope it does. I'm trying to get that profit per hour up right now. It's crazy how inconsistent the Grand Exchange is, right? Like, sometimes you're flipping in the game, you're ripping through profits, you're making a ton of money, and then other days on the exchange, like, it's not even close to where it was the other day, and you're just making a lot less than you have in the past. I mean, that's a big thing that I've noticed with flipping that makes it a more inconsistent moneymaker. Like, you can make a ton of money flipping. I make a lot of my money flipping overnight and specifically, but at the same time, like, some days you get onto the Grand Exchange and you just cannot get anything moving for any bit of profit at all, which can be a little bit demoralizing if you're new to flipping. And all I have to say is every day on the Grand Exchange is different, just like every day at Vorkath is different, every day at Zulrah or every day bossing. You're not going to get the same drops. It's an inconsistent game, and the more you do it, the more money you're going to make in the long run. Jack Knight says, oh, I was very much thinking about getting into systems information, but then maybe trying to get a sysadmin job. That is one way to do it, man. And, I mean, I like my degree, but I wish I studied something else. Like, come on, man. It's just a little boring. Clusa says, when did you change your name to Scapenomics? Watching the old Road to 100 Mil series when you were SeerTube. So, I changed it, I think, October was, like, around when I changed it, late October. So, I like the new name a lot. What do you think, Clusa, man? Do you like it, too? It was definitely kind of controversial at the beginning, but I like it a lot. Rage says, I saw that tasty bludgeon flip that you posted earlier. Nice. Yeah, that was a pretty decent one. People were talking about in the my Discord group. They were like, hey, like, look at the bludgeon. It's looking a little sketchy. And I was like, that's not sketchy. That is a prime opportunity to buy. And I bought in on this. I mean, anytime you see an item that either spikes or crashes and then starts trading immediately sideways, like if the graph literally looks like something like this, like it just comes down and stops, that means someone is buying in big time, right? So if someone's doing that, it's always a good sign to buy into the item because it means the item's going to get pumped up soon. So that's what I look for personally when I make these investments or these like swing trades. Let's turn around and sell these Armadillo crossbows back, guys. We're going to turn these around here. We're going to see if we can get them off for a little bit higher. Definitely a fan of the new name. Thank you, Jack, man. Do appreciate it. We have Funk Up saying, have you been trying at all to flip the Dragon Harpoons? People trying to recharge their Infernal Harpoons for Temporos. I don't really flip Dragon Harpoons. They're just a little bit too cheap for me. Although you could have made a lot of money in the past making a good investment on them. Jesus says, hello, sir. Good luck today. Big coins to you. We're doing our best, man, but we are coming up on the end of the stream here, guys, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we haven't been making a ton of profit. New name is Fire has a nice ring. Thank you, Clusa, man. I'm so glad you're on my side with that one. That's what I thought, too. I was like, look, we got to rebrand this channel into something that sounds a little bit nicer and isn't as random. And there we go, pumping up the price on those Armadillo crossbows. Very nice to see us sell those off here, bringing us a little bit more money before the end of the stream today. Very happy to see that. Jack says, it's also a very boring field, but seems stable with strong security. Yeah, that's basically all it is. Yep, it's a good field, pays decent, and has decent security as well. It's like very average job, you know what I mean? Like, it's, actually, I would say it's a little bit above average because the career outlook in IT is very high. If you're, like, motivated, you can go a long way with IT, and it's one of those things where, like, you don't necessarily need a college degree to get there. Now, a college degree would help you out a lot, but it's not a necessity, and that's why I like it. It's one that's like really competitive in a sense. Like, nothing's given to you in IT. You gotta learn it, man. Anyway, I don't think we're going to get this Twisted Bow off before the end of the stream here, guys, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we are going to wrap it up here today, guys. 4.8 mil in profit, averaging about 3.3 mil an hour. Would have been a lot better if we didn't take the 600k loss on the Abernic defenders. But guys, sometimes when you're flipping, you're gonna take losses, and it is like that, right? Like, everyone's taking a loss if they've done enough flipping, right? So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. We totally smashed the 20 like goal. So I, again, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for sticking with me on this lovely, lovely Friday evening. And I'll see you all in the next one. Hope to see you on Monday, where we're back at the Grand Exchange making some money. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one.